Welcome everybody to Scott Cooks. Today we will be making a chess pie in our Nuwave Brio. If you've never heard of a chess pie, I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay, a chess pie is a southern thing. Back in the older southern days, this is just means a pie made from very little ingredients and usually what they had in the pantry. What chess stands for, I couldn't tell you. I can't find the answer to that. It's probably slang or an acronym for something. I'll make one up. Let's see. Cheap household ingredients.
It's an I, not an E.
Oh. Cheap household everything Scott saved. There you go. Chess pie. Our ingredients is exactly what you would expect to find in an old southern style pantry. Sugar. Now, obviously, they would not have used a pre-made pie crust. We're going to cheat a little bit. This is an unbaked pie crust, frozen. Evaporated milk, you would have found all the time. 4 eggs, they would have just walked out to the coop and grabbed them. Butter, got a stick, that's a ½ cup. I got a little bit of cornmeal. I know, this is a pie, but it's going to have cornmeal. And a little bit of white vinegar. I'm going to use a little white wine vinegar. And that's it. That's all there is to a chess pie. Let's get this Brio preheated. We're going to preheat our oven to 400 degrees at the 1800 watts. We're going to cook this pie for 10 minutes at 400, and then we're going to reduce the temperature to 300 and cook for another 40 minutes. And from there, we're just going to keep an eye on it and check it, and that should just about do it. Let's get some ingredients mixed up. Okay, guys, we are going to start the ½ cup, 1 stick of softened butter, and 10 seconds in the microwave did the trick for me. Or you could just let it sit out on the counter if you want. 1 stick of butter, 2 cups of white granulated sugar, okay, 1 teaspoon of the best vanilla you can find. Don't get that artificial stuff, guys. I know this is a lot more expensive. It goes further and it tastes better. And if you're baking, you want your stuff to taste good, just do it. You don't use much and it'll last you a long time. 1 teaspoon of the vanilla. Smell that? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, next up, guys, you want to mix that really well. Combine those ingredients. So just work on that until you get everything combined, blended together. And this might take a little bit of time, but just pretend like you're in the 1800s in the South and you're making a pie. All right, once you got it nice and combined, we're going to put in our 4 eggs. All of the egg. Don't separate them. All the egg goes in. And combine. All right, guys, I know this is a strange one, but we're going to use some white vinegar, 1 tablespoon. I'm going to go a little light on it myself. Don't want to overwhelm this dish. So I got maybe a little more than 2/3 of a tablespoon on that. And we're going to use a tablespoon of cornmeal. I know, in a pie. These are some crazy ingredients for a pie, but this is exactly what we want. Now we want the full tablespoon for this one. Plus what I spilled over the side. You know what, I'm gonna Put a little smidgen more in there, make sure I get it all in. And next we're going to use some evaporated milk. Evaporated milk has a shelf life of probably forever because they have evaporated the water out of the milk. Lasts forever. All right, we're going to put how much in?
1/4 cup.
A 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. I got to get this open, be right back. Okay, we're going to put a 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. And I know I'm going to miss and some's going to pour over the side, but it's the best I can do for right now. Hey, that wasn't too shabby, was it? That was a good pour.
Still smooth.
Okay, guys, this is the most important part of your stir. We need to get this smooth, and if you can see down in there, we still have a few little chunks of the butter and sugar mixture that kind of clump together. So we want to stir this until we get it as smooth as we can. I would not do this with an electric mixer. You don't really want air incorporated into this. So just do it. Just hand mix it, guys. Now make sure you're using a no-bake pie crust. This is just dough. And you find these in the freezer section. And you want to keep it frozen right up to the time you use it. And this is a 9-inch shell. So we may have a little too much mix, but we'll pour slow, guys. Pour slow. Doesn't that look amazing? All right, guess what's next? We're gonna put it in the oven. All right, guys, I put that in on the lowest possible setting. I moved the rack as far down as I could get it for this. We're at 400 degrees, and we're gonna do 10 minutes. So we're gonna change our timer here. Oh, sorry for the camera. My hands are messy with pie. Anyway, let's lower this down to 10 minutes. And at the 10-minute mark, when it turns off, we'll reset it to maybe 290. So like I said, this oven cooks hot. It's a very small, confined space. So we'll put it at 290, maybe 300, we'll see, and go for 40 minutes. You know what? I think I'm gonna do 300 for maybe 25 minutes, and then maybe 290 after I check it. Just don't want to burn the crust before the pie is ready. All right, guys, I just checked the pie. We got about 3 minutes to go, and I want to show you. I'm going to go ahead and open the door, put the light on. So because of the nature of the product here, we're air frying. Let me bring that down for you here. You can see what's happening. We're starting to get really dark in the center, really dark. So I'm going to hold it right there. I'm going to drop this to about 280, I think, maybe 280 for the remainder. I just think that's way too much. And I'm also going to drop the watts to 1500. I need to slow cook this without burning it up. So the sugars browned and started to darken right there on the top. And that's about as far as I want that to go. So we're at 1500 watts. I'm going to drop the temperature now to 280. And we're going to set the time to, let's go for 30 minutes, and then we'll check it. Oops, 30 minutes. And then we'll give it a check. And that's it, it's already running. I'm a little concerned with the force of the fan. If you look real close, you can see it jiggling really bad in there. So the fan blowing the heat down is pretty intense. You know, I do a lot of experimenting with these things, and a pie is one of them. And what I've decided to do is lower the watts even further. I'm trying to slow down the amount of force of the fan and the heat. So I put it on 275 and put the watts down to 700. This might take a little longer to cook, but at least hopefully we won't burn it up. And you can see it still, well, no, you can't see it. There it is. You can see the fan is still wobbling it everywhere, but at a lower temperature, I think we'll be okay. I can't change the speed of the fan. Well, I hope we're on to something, everybody. It's not gotten any darker in the middle. Overall, the top has gotten a little darker. That's to be expected. There's a lot of sugar in there. We're approaching the first 20-minute mark at 700 watts. at 275. I don't think it started to set up at all. The crust is looking pretty good. A little bit of dark area on the crust. That's just where a little filling spilled over the side. The rest of the crust is light golden brown. So we're going to continue this process. I'm just going to go ahead and turn the time up, and we're going to give it another 20. And that will be 40 total, but again, we did lower the temperature and we lowered the wattage. So I won't be surprised if it's not completely set up. But, you know, this is the compromise I had to make. All right, we're checking in with 10 minutes to go, and I've got some good news. If you watch very closely, the pie is no longer moving. So no more of that wave action. I've gone in there and slipped it slightly to the left and gave it a little spin. And I'm gonna, in a couple seconds, I'm going to pull it a little forward and move it all the way to the right and spin it again. But I'm very happy to see that it's starting to set up. You can start to see the cracking on the side. The sugar's starting to crack there. And that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. So far, so good. So when I moved it over and spun it, it still jiggled a little bit on me, guys. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and move the watts back up to 1500, keeping my temperature at 275. Because we've got to get it to set before it burns. If not, we've got no pie. Well, we're coming down to the last 30 seconds. It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this pie because the crust is about as far as I want it to go. I know I can go in there and wrap it with foil and all that mess, but that's kind of hard to do in a small oven like this. So I'm going to skip that step. And that could take a long time to cool, and hopefully she'll steady up when she cools. It's not as jiggly as I expected. A little worried about that, but that's something I can just take right off of there. So, now, this was an experiment, and if I did this again, I would probably skip that first 10 minutes under 400 that we did. In fact, I know I would skip that. Well, there you have it, guys. That is a chess pie cooked in the Nuwave Brio 15.5 quart oven. It's finally cool. Pretty cool. And now's the best part. We're going to try it out. First thing we're going to do is just hopefully make sure that it's set. So we'll just go kind of, oh, you hear that crunch? Oh, I love that. Oh, yeah. Pretty dry. Not 100%, but pretty dry. Let's cut a small piece. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, I like that crunch on the top. It's almost like it's bruleed a little bit. I'm just going to grab a small little piece out of here for a taste test. Comes right out. She's definitely set. I don't want to leave any of that yummy crust behind. Show you what that looks like inside. And a better view. And I know that got a little browner than I wanted to. I will do this again, and if so, I will skip that first 10-minute part. Good old-fashioned Southern chess pie. Now, you're supposed to be putting Cool Whip on this, but we know what Cool Whip tastes like, but we don't know what this tastes like. So we'll get to Cool Whip later. Here we go. Distilled vinegar and all. Oh my goodness. It's very custard-like in texture and flavor. This might be one of the best pies I've ever had. I'm eating another bite. Man, I did it, guys. That is good. I want to thank everybody for watching. Check the description. I'll put the ingredients in there for you. Hit that bell for notifications. Subscribe to the channel. Leave me comments. And don't forget to click that little like button. YouTube really enjoys when you do that. And so do I. I'm going to eat some more pie. I'll see you guys later on the next video.